everybody, John Cottrell back here again with another video, and I'm here to give you my official review for The Flash Season 2, Episode 6, titled Enter Zoom. Now, of course, if you haven't seen this episode, please go check it out, because this review may contain spoilers. But that being said, let's get into The Flash Season 2, Enter Zoom. Barry trying to capture fucking Zoom. Well, you got what you wished for. God damn, shit went down in this episode. Now, let me just put it out there. Let me start with my negatives, because there's a whole bunch of positives I want to get into. Number one, secret identities. What the fuck, guys? I mean, I'm just saying, I had the same argument and conversation with my Supergirl review that I posted earlier today. Of course, if you haven't seen it, go check out my review for Supergirl Episode 3. And in that review, I was discussing my dismay with Kara's willingness to just give out her identity very willy-nilly. And in this episode, Barry makes the same mistake with letting in Linda Park into Team Flash, because as the episode goes on, Earth 2 Linda Park, aka Dr. Light for some god-awful reason, apparently escapes Star Labs, which, man, that was pretty easy, and it also kind of confirms an idea of, like, that all Flash fans have been asking ourselves forever, which is, how does all the prisoners in Star Labs, the metahuman prisoners, ever escape, not technically escape, but essentially live in there? Because there's no food, there's no bathrooms. It's like, how do you do anything? And I guess we kind of got somewhat of an answer. I guess Cisco goes to Belly Burger. In the CW universe, you gotta love them Belly Burgers, because there you go. But essentially, Darkler Light leaves, she escapes, and Barry, with the help of Harrison Wells' Earth 2 version, comes up with an idea to essentially use Linda Park as bait to bring in Zoom in to Earth 1 to hopefully capture Zoom and, of course, take him out of the equation before more people die. And essentially, Team Flash gets exactly what they wished for, but in a diabolical way that I'm sure no one saw coming. Oh my god, it was pretty crazy. But overall, the secret identity thing, I really wish that CW, like, can someone please start a freaking campaign and send it over to CW and Greg Berlanti and all those motherfuckers to stop letting characters show off their secret identities so willy-nilly. I'm just saying, man, Flash eventually becomes a very big character in Central City. He has his own museum, for fuck's sake. I mean, like, come on. Like, people love the Flash, and I get that. I understand that, but not everyone needs to know that Barry is Flash, Flash is Barry, and all that kind of nonsense. It's just unnecessary. That's, I hate to use the bad joke from Batman and Robin, the terrible Batman and Robin, but it's kind of like that. It's like, this is why Superman works alone. It's just, come on, stop with that. I mean, like, I'm pretty sure there was a way to use Linda Park to your advantage without actually having to reveal that you are Barry. I mean, like, granted, it kind of helped to a certain extent, but not really, especially in the way that it kind of turned out for Team Flash in the end of the episode. But overall, I really just didn't understand why they had to do that. I felt it was a major misfire to do that, because what's to stop Barry from doing that with all of his girlfriends? What's him to stop that to do with Patty? Which doesn't make any sense. I mean, like, this is why as a comparison, Civil War, Marvel's Civil War, not the movie, which hasn't come out yet, but the comic book. This is why it was such a horrible mistake for Peter Parker to reveal Spider-Man rather, to reveal that he's Peter Parker, because now that the world knows who you really are, that means anybody can attack you. Anybody can destroy you, anybody can affect you in ways that you did not comprehend. That's why Captain America was so pissed off at Spider-Man for doing that, because it was such a stupid thing to do. And you know me, I'm all pro Cap, and that's the way I feel with all kind of superhero characters. Do not reveal your identity unless you really have to, and very dire circumstances, and I mean really dire, not like Batman Returns dire, but you get what I'm getting at. I just really wish that they would take that into consideration and stop doing that. I mean, they did it with Supergirl, they did it with Arrow, now they did it with the Flash. It's just, let it go, stop it. Secret identities, hence, the key word in secret identities is secret, keeping it a secret. So, please, stop letting anybody go into Star Labs, seeing that you have the Flash suit, and 2, Barry, stop showing everyone that you are who you are. Just, I just wish they would stop that. But that being said, that was pretty much my overall negatives, which is, a pretty good thing, seeing as how with Season 2 of The Flash, I've been having a lot of significant negatives about the show that really have been taking me out of it and, making me want to watch other kind of shows. But overall, they killed it with this show. We got to see some more glances into Tom Cavanagh's Earth 2 Harrison Wells, which was pretty cool. We get the reveal that his daughter's actually Jesse Quick. The fucking small world, isn't it? And also some really cool Easter eggs with Oliver in the way in Arrow universe in the Flash Earth 2, which is pretty cool. Spoilers, but for anybody who is actually listening to when Jesse Quick gets captured by Zoom in Earth 2, apparently Oliver the Arrowverse, if you will, is very Batman Flashpoint-esque, and I knew that was gonna happen because let's be honest here, Arrow is basically CW's answer to Batman. It's the way of the cards. However, I thought it was pretty cool how they did that, where it's apparently in Starling City, it's still called Starling City in Earth 2, and apparently Oliver actually died on back in season 1 of the cruise ship shipwreck kind of scenario, and apparently his father Robert Queen apparently became the Green Arrow, and apparently I guess unmasked himself for some god awful reason in that kind of scenario. But however, I thought it was really cool. I mean, granted, back in season 3 I bitched a lot about how Arrow took too much from Batman, but in the Earth 2, I'll give it an okay. I mean, it's not like it's going to affect this certain continuity, Earth 1 Arrowverse, but I thought it was just kind of cool and neat that in Earth 2, the Arrowverse has like a very Flashpoint-esque Batman kind of scenario where, spoilers if you haven't read the Flashpoint comic books from DC, essentially Batman is not Bruce Wayne, it's actually Thomas Wayne, the father of Bruce Wayne. So really cool stuff there. Really cool stuff with Tom Cavanagh's character. I'm loving his new version of Harrison Wells. I really appreciate the change in his performance, which is really cool. I've been saying this ever since he's come back. Tom Cavanagh is boss. He will always be boss. You may not like him. You may hate him. Cisco may call him Harry, but he is a badass, and he makes this show awesome. But moving off of that, other real cool stuff. The reveal of Zoom. Let's just get it out. Let's just get it out there. The reveal of Zoom. This dangerous plan that Barry and the rest of Team Flash created for themselves. Apparently, drastically is a gigantic catastrophe. It completely backfires on them, and Zoom is out for blood. He finds out that it was a complete ruse, and he just demolishes Barry. I mean, I've never seen a character get the shit. I mean, like, if you thought Reverse Flash kicking Barry's ass back in season 1 was terrible and horrible looking, Zoom destroys Barry in this episode of this season. I mean, I haven't seen a fight go that wrong for a hero since, like, History of Trunks in the Dragon Ball Z special, where Future Trunks, a young, fresh Future Trunks gets the living shit kicked out of him by the androids, which leads him to, obviously, time travel and what have you. But God, that was a brutal beating. I mean, Zoom kicks the shit out of him, and for a second there, you're really hoping for Barry, because Barry he's tough now. This is season 2 Barry. This is season 2 Grant Gustin. He's not a pussy. He's not taking shit. He's not scared. He's a hero now, and he's standing up for justice and all that good stuff. But goddamn, sorry to take the good Lord's name in vain, but fuck, they shitted on Barry so hardcore in a very drastic way. And to a certain extent, I actually was kind of rooting for Zoom. Not because I hate Barry. I love Grant Gustin's performance as Barry, and Flash is obviously an awesome hero that I love, but man, Zoom was so cool and badass, and I love Tony Todd's performance, his voice performance, if you will, as Zoom. I thought it was really cool. I wish they could have done some more stuff with Zoom to show how extremely fast he was, because on the show, they're doing a lot of different things with Zoom in comparison to his comic book counterpart, because, spoilers, if you are not keen to the comic books, in the comic book, Zoom is actually Hunter Zolomon, and he's not particularly fast in the sense that how Barry is fast or Wally is fast. Essentially, he, does a lot of different kind of things. He's faster in terms of and a whole bunch of other kind of scenario in comparison to Barry and Wally, but seeing as how the CW has changed Zoom for their counterpart in their universe, they kind of made him a little bit more like the Speed Demon. He's more like the Black Flash. He's just this demon who's just trying to kill all the speedsters and what have you, which is really cool. Although I would have liked a Hunter Zolomon Zoom for season 2, and it would have been cool to have this kind of iteration of a speedster character in like a season 3. It's still pretty cool. I mean, the face, the CGI blue lightning effects that they created for Zoom on this episode and this season overall has been very impressive. I like the look of Zoom. He looks so scary and creepy. He's a monster. It's the same way like how Caitlin and Cisco put it out there. He is a monster, and it's very fucking scary. And Tony Todd, he just kills it. I mean, Tony Todd is a master at fucking acting, and I've always been a big fan of Tony Todd, and he killed it in this show. As not only as the voice, but I mean the character of Zoom just kills it as well. I know it's a different actor, but overall, Zoom is the package. He is the total package. He's out for blood. He's out for speedsters. He's here to be the best and the only speedster in any universe. Wink, wink, 52. But overall, awesome stuff. Really awesome stuff. This episode definitely was amazing, and it was a major step in the right direction for this show. Of course, there were some things that were very cheesy and kind of like, I don't really care about that stuff, like the Patty stuff. I know, like, there's a whole bunch of fans that love her to death, but I'm still not keen to. This is the best way I can put it. She has become a fast-forward character. That's just the way it is, and that's how I feel about her now. And I know that's sad and maybe kind of like, very disrespectful to her, but as the actress, if you will, but I'm just not really big on her character. Linda, I really didn't like the scenes with her trying to become Dr. Light. I thought it was kind of goofy and cheesy. And also, I wasn't a big fan of like Barry revealing to Linda that he is the Flash. I mean, come on, dude. Secret identities. Secret. Keyword. Secret. But overall, still, the episode was awesome. I mean, that ending alone where Zoom is just spoilers, but Zoom is like kicking his ass and he's stabbing him and he's beating the shit out of him and he takes him all over Central City, showing everyone that this is not, like, I love those lines. Like, Zoom is so scary, but he's so badass at the same time, where you just love to see him when he's on screen, and he's just going everywhere, and his lines are just awesome and very, very intense. Like, this is not your god. This is your hero. This is not your hero anymore. And I'm paraphrasing, of course, but I'm telling you, Zoom definitely took the cake. Granted, this is a Zoom-oriented show. This is Enter Zoom, so we get to see just a glimpse at the extent of the powers of Zoom. However, I do have questions, which is the future of the Speed Force for these characters, because it kind of hints at the fact at the end of this episode that Barry might not be able to use his speed again. He seems to be paralyzed, which is really crazy over the fight that he had with Zoom. And also, Cisco was able to shoot Zoom in the neck with that dart or what have you. So does that mean that Zoom is a little slower too or something? I don't know. There's a lot of big questions out there, but overall, I'm psyched. I can't wait to see future episodes. Zoom, freaking, oh god, I want to see more of that character. I mean, I loved him so much in this episode. I never thought I would like him that much, because we've seen glimpses of him in this season, but not to the extent that we saw him here, and it was badass. But that being said, final verdict, I have to give it a full-on 8.5 out of 10. I would have given it a solid 9 strictly for the Zoom sequences. However, the only reason I downgraded to an 8.5 is mostly due to the major problems I had with Linda Park and her trying to control the Dr. Light powers and the cheesy Patty stuff, and of course that horrible scene of Barry of Flash revealing to Linda that he's Barry or whatever. It was just god-awful and stupid. But regardless of any of that, this episode was a very solid watch. It was entertaining. It was fun. It was badass. Zoom is a crazy awesome character I can't wait to see more of. And I just loved it. I love this episode. But that being said, comment below. Let me know what you personally think about this episode. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What are your personal thoughts on Zoom? What do you think the future is? How do you feel Harrison Wells is? What is he going to do to try and get his daughter back, Jesse, quick? Do you think Barry has lost his Speed Force forever for good? And just let me know your personal speculations for the future of Season 2 of The Flash. And also, next week, Gorilla Grodd comes back. Thank you, Lord. Yes, I want some of that Gorilla Grodd awesomeness. I loved last season seeing him, and now that he's back, I can't wait to see. But seeing as how Barry is kind of, fucked over from the waist down, I don't know how they're going to technically defeat Gorilla Grodd, especially if he's become more powerful. So we're going to wait and see. But overall, I can't wait to see next week's episode. But that being said, comment below. Let me know what you personally think. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at JohnTruck12. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. And also, as a quick little update, I know it's kind of weird that I'm reviewing The Flash both times, last week and this week, on the day it's released. I just wanted to, as a really quick update, that's because I've been having some day offs. So essentially, if future reviews for Flash and or Arrow do not come out on the day of release, then they will continue to come out as scheduled, which is Thursdays. But seeing as how I do have day offs, Flash is coming out on Tuesday night, and also as a quick wink, I will also be doing an Arrow review once it's released tomorrow night. So just keep that in mind, but from here on out, this is not going to be a continuous thing, but from here on out, if they don't come out upon release, then they'll come out as scheduled, which is Thursdays. But that being said, hope you guys enjoyed, and this has been John 12.